And we've got some breaking news here on the Get More Sports podcast. Mike McCarthy will be the next head coach of the Dallas Cowboys. It took 9 years to fire their head coach, Jason Garrett, and it took about 9 hours to hire their new head coach in Mike McCarthy. Jay Glazer tweets, "Scoopage alert, the Dallas Cowboys have agreed to terms with Mike McCarthy to be their new head coach. Announcement and press conference expected later this week." Tom Pelissaro tweets, "Mike McCarthy tells me he just signed with the Cowboys. Done deal. He's their new head coach." Ian Rappaport tweets, "As official as it gets, the Cowboys have their coach." And Ian Rappaport also tweets, "Two notes on the new Cowboys head coach, Mike McCarthy. One, he signed a 5-year deal with Dallas, sources said. And two, McCarthy likes OC Kellen Moore, I'm told. Nothing more firm than that, but it does seem like McCarthy is more than open to keeping him." So, Mike McCarthy, he's headed to Dallas. I'm going to give you the pros and cons of Mike McCarthy for the Dallas Cowboys. But first, let's hear from Jay Glazer on how it all went down.
Yeah, they wanted NFL head coaching experience. And I know a lot of people out there, they thought they'd go after like a Lincoln Riley, and that wasn't the case. They didn't want somebody with college experience. They wanted somebody who was an NFL head coach. And at first they wanted defense, but the more they did research on Mike McCarthy, the more they really started to fall in love with the grunt that is Mike McCarthy. He is a football guy. And when they met with him and interviewed him, I think they looked at it and said there's such a difference between him and Jason Garrett. Jason Garrett, obviously Princeton kind of guy, and Mike McCarthy is just a Pittsburgh guy, worked in the toll booth. He's a grunt, and the way he went in there and explained how he would run their offense, run their team, and the team needs a lot of discipline also. They just fell in love with him throughout the night. And again, I reported yesterday on our Fox NFL Sunday Playoff show that he was still in Dallas. The interview was only supposed to last the first day, but it went so well, they ended up keeping him overnight.
So first thought here is, one, Mike McCarthy was going to get one of these big jobs, whether it be the New York Giants or the Cleveland Browns. The New York Giants, they had already requested a second interview with Mike McCarthy, so the Cowboys, they had to act fast if they wanted to get their guy. And you know they were going to bring Mike McCarthy home when Jerry Jones let Mike McCarthy stay at his home. According to Adam Schefter, new Cowboys head coach Mike McCarthy stayed over at Jerry Jones' house on Saturday night, per source. Once you stay at Jerry's house, he doesn't lose his guy, said source. So, I've heard it all at this point. Hey, why stay at a nice 5-star hotel when you can stay at my mansion? Hey, you need a toothbrush, need a blanket. Hey, you can stay at my house, and we'll talk about being the next head coach of the Dallas Cowboys. Here's a live look at Mike McCarthy and Jerry Jones at their sleepover.
Yes, we did. It looks amazing. Look at that. That looks like what you would buy from a store.
Should have been.
Look at all this floor space.
So
We
much.
do aerobics in here.
So many activities.
Do step class.
It's making my head spin. How many activities we can do?
Play Army Man.
Yeah.
This is how we do it.
Da, 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 da.
Hey, I never asked you.
Yeah.
You like guacamole?
Now, but let's start with the pros for Mike McCarthy. Pro, a 125 and 77-2 record, a .618 winning percentage in the regular season, and he led the Packers to the playoffs in 9 of his 13 seasons as head coach, winning at least one playoff game in 6 of those 9 seasons. So, just for comparison's sake, the Cowboys have made the playoffs 3 times in the last decade, winning just 2 playoff games in the process. So Mike McCarthy's going to come in there. He has a Super Bowl to his name. He can look that locker room in the eye and say, hey, I've been to the mountaintop. I know what it takes to win a Super Bowl. And for my first con, Mike McCarthy, in 13 years as Packers head coach, not once were they top 10 in rush attempts. Not once were the Packers top 10 in rush attempts under Mike McCarthy, and he's really known as a pass-first guy, not known for designing creative run plays. And just look at the success that Aaron Jones has had since his departure. He's become a top 5 running back after Mike McCarthy left, and this Dallas team, they really should be carried by their running game. You got guys like Ezekiel Elliott, the highest paid running back in the game, Collins, Martin, Frederick Williams. Smith, that massive offensive line should be the focal point of this Cowboys offense. So we're going to see, can he adjust? He says he's going to be more analytics-oriented than he was in Green Bay, but the question is, can a Tiger change his stripes this late in his career? That remains to be seen. And my next pro for Mike McCarthy is that he's a reputable developer of quarterbacks. Just look at his track record. Guys like Joe Montana, Rich Gannon, Brett Favre, Aaron Rodgers. He has a long and rich history of taking quarterbacks to the next level, and Aaron Rodgers credits him with a lot of his success. Now look, the player has to have the talent. I've called Aaron Rodgers the right arm of God, but hey, Mike McCarthy helped cultivate that talent, and Aaron Rodgers described it as breaking down that thing to a science, and it really gives you a good feel for what you need to work on. So he says that Mike McCarthy knows how to break down your game down to a science, and I think if you look at Dak Prescott, yes, he's capable of making some elite throws, but there are times when his mechanics fall off, when his mechanics slip a little, and I think Mike McCarthy can take him to the next level. And for my next con, it's that his offenses in Green Bay, towards the end, they started to get stale. They started to devolve. They were not creative. They were unimaginative, and I just want to see him bring that back. You had all that pre-snap motion, the multiple personnel groups. You want to see him bring that back in Green Bay. I'm concerned that at this point, will he change his game up enough to adapt to the modern offenses? So to me, that'd be a concern. And for my next pro is that this is not the splashy hire, that this is not the Urban Meyer type hire, and to me that's a pro because it shows that Jerry Jones, he's doing the sensible thing. He went with the safe, the solid, the stable hire rather than the splashy hire that makes all the headlines. Because look, if he wanted to, he could offer this job to Urban Meyer and people would be buzzing. It would be an explosive hire. But Mike McCarthy, this is the guy that has a Super Bowl. This is the guy that has what it takes to optimize Dak Prescott's skill set. I do have my concerns with how he's going to utilize the run game and whether or not that Dallas media can wear on him. Because look, hey, Mike McCarthy can get icy with the media, but hey, Mike McCarthy, he's got that toughness. I like this hire for the Dallas Cowboys. I'm giving it a solid B. He has to show me that he can use analytics, that he can use the run game. And to me, for him to be a success in year one, they have to win at least one playoff game. One playoff game for the Dallas Cowboys. That's what it will take to make him a success. Anything else, then you're going to say, hey, maybe they didn't make the right hire. Thanks for watching the Get More Sports YouTube channel. My name is Doug McCain. You can follow me at DMac_LA. And for all the hottest sports content in the game, be sure to hit that subscribe button, hit that notification button, and most importantly, give me all your takes right down below in the comments section. And for all the hottest and latest sports news, head over to GetMoreSports.com.